everyone. My name is Ella, and my two words are unworthy and adored. So here's my story. I was abused as a child, and I tell you this only because I feel like that experience really shaped who I was before I came to know Christ. I carried the weight of that pain throughout my life, and it manifested in different ways as I got older. Since all of that pain that I experienced was at a pretty young age, I genuinely believed back then that I was just an awful person and that's why bad things happened to me because I just didn't know better. As I got older, that brokenness and shame stuck with me. And I sought out love in all of the wrong places, and I felt incredibly unloved. And I looked for relief from that pain in people and in things, but not in God. Shockingly, those people and things did not give me the love that I desperately needed, and that all only amplified the emptiness that was inside of me. Because of all this, I felt very alone and completely unworthy of love for a long time. So I know that was really heavy, but I promise this is where it gets good because Jesus opened up my heart to a more rewarding love than I had ever known, and He completely changed the way that I view myself. This really took shape this past winter. I was lucky enough to go to winter conference in Indianapolis, and I had no idea what to expect because I had never been to anything like that before. But I quickly learned that God was going to use that trip to change my walk of faith. At one specific talk, the speaker had asked everybody who kind of felt like they needed to hit the refresh button in their faith to stand up for Christ. And I stood up, not really knowing fully the reasons why I was doing it, but I just knew that something needed to change. And prior to that moment, I had convinced myself that I was doing completely fine and that I was letting Jesus into my heart. But as I was listening to the speaker, I realized that the pain from my childhood was still with me and that Jesus was the answer to that pain. So I stood up. And I'm not even kidding, ever since that moment, I have seen and felt God's presence in my life in ways that I never experienced before. Now, after accepting Jesus into my heart, I don't feel the same weight of shame that I used to feel. I am so much more secure in myself, knowing that I derive my worth not from anything of this world, but from the love of Jesus Christ. I can actually see now that I'm deeply adored by God, which stirs up a joy within me that no person on earth can ever take away from me. One verse that I continuously return to now is 2 Corinthians 5:17, which says, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has passed away, behold, the new has come." The world does not weigh me down like it used to. I finally feel the love that I was striving for ever since I was a little girl. I now realize that all of the pain and suffering that I was enduring was just preparing me for a truly transformative love that will never let me down. And I cannot fully express to you how happy that makes me.